Well, hello YouTube. How are y'all doing? I just found this in the parking lot. So yeah, I think the pink monkey and I are gonna head down the road. Alright, so hi, it's the wingnut. I think I already said that. If I didn't, well, my bad. If I did, yay. Oh, so this is kind of weird. He's got a pink monkey on the front of my bike. A gorilla, I'm not sure. And yeah, just sitting in the parking lot. So, oh yeah, so what we're going to talk about today? We're going to talk about something that was important. Oh, motorcycle related for the state of Tennessee. If you didn't know, there was a bill proposed in the Senate and the House for the state of Tennessee back in January to allow for lane filtering and splitting on a limited number of highways and interstates if this is for motorcycles, if the speed was below 25 miles an hour. And it actually, I started making progress. It's like 25% through the process, and I'll put a link to the actual numbers for the House bill and then the Senate bill so you guys can see it. I'll put links so you guys see where it's at. Well, it made it till about the March, and in March they decided this needed to go to a safety committee for review, and the safety committee wasn't coming back on the table until I sounded like I lost something. I don't know what I lost. I don't know what it was. Oh. But anyways, back on the subject. Something hit my leg. So back on the subject, it's going to a traffic safety committee that convenes in January of 2024. So what does that mean? Somebody in the House and the Senate in Tennessee thinks this might be a good idea. So what do it mean? It means that essentially, if it would pass, if we were on the highway or the interstate and it was bumper to bumper, very, very slow, 25 miles an hour or less traffic, you could be able to filter within the same lane, or just to keep from overheating and everything else. It doesn't mean, you know, yay, 80 miles an hour in the same lane as another car. Just meant for you to get through, because notoriously motorcycles don't do well at low speeds in heavy traffic. You know, we tend to get squished or overheated and those things like that. So that's something to think about. And yeah, pardon me. So it's not a bad thing. My only problem with it, and my problem's not actually with the bill itself, because currently in Tennessee, lane splitting and filtering are absolutely illegal. That's in fine print, and I'll also put that little thing down below where it says that. Do a link to it, as well as put it up on the screen for you guys to read. But essentially, my problem with the whole thing, because I think filtering is a good idea as a safety, because it is. They're going to send it to a traffic safety committee, and I promise you what they're going to do is they're going to pull up the hurt report, right? And they're going to look at the hurt report and they're going to be like, oh, well, nowhere in here does it say this is actually safer, so it can't be good. Well, my problem with the hurt report is that was published in 1981. That is the newest motorcycle safety report conducted here in the United States of America. It was started in 1979 or 1978, link in the description, and completed in 1981. I was born in 1981. That's 42 years ago. So the data we have is not up to date. There have been calls for quite a few newer motorcycle safety reports, and even Motorcycle Safety Foundation and a bunch of other special interest groups within the motorcycle community have motorcycling association, all of it. have opted to do this, but the problem is the report that they're wanting to do is a very, very small cross section. It needs to be a larger scope. And then in fact, there's a couple of articles out there about it, trying to get it going, and it all sounds positive, and it just drops dead. Because what the federal government wants to do is a report that's very small, quick, easy, fast, done. But the motorcycling enthusiasts are wanting a larger report. That way we get a better scope of data, because let's say they only do like 150, 200 motorcycle accident reviews, and they all do them in San Diego. That doesn't really do me in Tennessee any good, you know. Or if they only look at the cause of motorcycle crashes versus what causes motorcycle crashes and the things that we can adopt to avoid them as well. And to be perfectly honest, if they do legalize filtering or lane splitting in Tennessee, there will be so many road rage incidences just off people in cars being freaking angry because a motorcyclist is getting around them in traffic. Even though it'll be a published change to the... So it'll be years before people really get it. And then in the meantime, those of us that follow the motorcycling law are going to have to deal with all the hate and discontent from the cagers, from the assholes that want to filter and lane split at 90 miles an hour. You see the problem with that? So, you know, I'm all for it. I think we should be able to filter and lane split everywhere in the United States. The rest of the world does it, and it's definitely a lot safer for us as motorcyclists if we're operating, or if we're doing that within a safe scope. Meaning, you know, a reasonable amount of speed, 10 to 15 miles per hour over the existing traffic under a certain mileage. To me, sounds like a great idea. You know, some people might not see it that way. Nope. Dad's back here at the pharmacy. I saw the dog in the truck. So, actually heading to his house right now to fix a planer. And then the backhoe at my place. So, yay. The pleasures of being in a small town. So yeah, I think it's a great thing. I hope it would pass. At the very least, if they could just make it to where we could get ourselves out of sitting and stopping, you know, stop and go low speed, no speed traffic, where we have the potential of being rear-ended because some, you know, person who isn't paying attention, playing on their fucking phone, doesn't hit us from behind because they're too busy worrying about Angry Birds or how to put, you know, lipstick on a pig or whatever freaking tutorial or whatever the crap you watch. You know, I'd like not to get bumped or hit or run over. You know, people drifting into my lane. Now, I've got that little bit of anger out of the way. So I had an incident not too long ago where it got close to being that. So the little pink monkey gorilla thingy is not doing too hot. In fact, she come loose. So, sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful, monkey, but you got to stay put. I don't want to lose you. But, you know, long story short, it's safer for me to be able to filter to the front of this line than to be sitting right here waiting on the person behind me who, for once, doesn't have a cell phone in their hand to not hit me. Put that in perspective for you. Okay? It's just safer. And, it's a bit aggravating. It just is, statistically speaking. But the problem is we really do need another hurt report. We need something similar to it on the scope, if not larger, because the riding population has gone up since then. So it's not just a handful of folks anymore. You know, and I say a handful, you gotta think, I just rode through this little small town and we passed one motorcyclist. You know? So that's just my take on it. I think it'd be a good thing. I don't think they're going to get it done next year, because you figure the safety committee is going to take a look at it. They're going to use some outdated sources, or they're going to say, oh, we can't do it until the federal government, you know, gives us a new thing. Or I just don't see it happening. I appreciate the people who put it forth in the Senate and in the House for the state of Tennessee. It's quite nice of you to consider us. But it didn't get shot down. It's not dead. It's been moved over to a safety committee to evaluate it to see if it's worthwhile. And what they're really going to do is they're going to look at what Utah has done, and they're going to see how it's worked for Utah, and then they're going to take that data and go, all right, well, what about, you know, X, 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 and X, and we'll see. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. I don't have high hopes for it happening, just because but you know, I don't hear of a lot of senators and House of Representative people riding motorcycles in the state of Tennessee, so we're really underrepresented when it comes to that slice of the population. It just is what it is, you know. So what do you do? I mean, we can complain about it, we can get mad, you know, but if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. I mean, all we really can do is write your senators, write your, you know, your representatives, and say, hey, I'd really like to see this. Just how it is. You know, you can email them now. You ain't even gotta write it with pen and paper. Shoot them an email. Hey, I'd really like to see this. Okay, that's something you can do. That's what I think. So I guess this coming January, we'll find out. I mean, it's November, so not that far down the road. We'll see. I'll stay on top of this one. This is something I'm really interested in. While I really don't need it through here in this locale, I could use it if I'm on the interstate. I could use it if I'm on the highway and there's, you know, something going on to make it stop, and it's 100-something degrees outside and I'm dying of heat. Personally, if I'm through a stretch of road like this, I'll find a little spot like over here that's cool, get off the bike, stretch my legs, chill out, get some cold water, because we got fresh water and dripping from the mountains. So yeah, that's it, is what it is. So got me a pink monkey. Hopefully somebody notices it. If somebody lost it and they noticed it, like, hey, that's my little Timmy's, you know, like, cool, here it is. I'm gonna hold on to it. I'll be on the bike a lot more while the weather's reasonable. As it gets colder, I will ride some, but hopefully I can get it back to its owner. That'd be really cool. Oh, I hope we don't have dope in it. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I better check that. Well, everybody, it's the Wingnut. Like, dislike, subscribe. It's on you. Have a good one. I didn't lose my laptop. Yay!